Okay, so like I said, I'm going to be going over what I learned from this podcast today, 5 DM scripts. And this really is good because it's part of our IPAs. Our IPAs are having conversations, doing follow-ups, all of that. So this is what you guys can use. Drop a 1 in the chat if you feel super comfortable with your cold market. Drop a 1 in the chat if you feel like you need help with having conversations, making genuine connections with people. Okay. What we're really doing here is we are starting a conversation with people so that we can build an awareness around what it is exactly they are looking for. Because we are problem solvers and we have an irresistible offer. So when you guys are offering our products or the business to anyone, you should never feel like you're bothering someone. You shouldn't feel scared like, oh my gosh, I don't really want to talk to this person. You have an irresistible offer. That's like me having $1,000 cash and being like, here, and you say no. I would literally laugh at you to be like, okay, you're lost, I guess. I'm not going to feel bad like, oh my gosh, is there something wrong with this $1,000 that I have? Should I not have this $1,000 either? Should I just like leave it on the ground here and ditch it because like I tried to give it away and someone didn't want it, so like maybe there's something wrong with it? Or am I going to keep that $1,000 and flip it and turn it into $100,000? That part. So treat this business like that. You guys, we talk about belief so much. If you don't believe in this business or these products, then maybe this isn't for you. And that's okay. But you need to get real with yourself. And I think that that's something that a lot of people do. They'll stay with this business and then they'll be like, oh yeah, it just wasn't for me. It's like, no, you didn't believe in it. You didn't really, I don't know who said it on the call. I think it was Nella who said it on call the other day. Like, have you guys listened to the YouTube video that I even sent to the group chat? Do you understand the family behind this business? Do you understand how we got here? What we've done, our gratitude program, the science behind our products. Like, if you don't know those things, you need to educate yourself because that's where you'll really understand and start to believe. And when you're sharing this with people, it's like, you know the worth of the $1,000 you're trying to give away. And you're going to be like, well, that's your loss. It's comical that someone wouldn't want to take this offer, this opportunity that you have for them. Okay, so the first DM script, and this is the one that I applied right away after I was done listening to the podcast, the introduction. And cold market, what people feel so uncomfortable doing. Like, I don't want a cold message. How do you naturally do that without feeling salesy or feeling like you have an ulterior motive, whatever that is, okay? So for the introduction, this is your first impression. You don't want to sound like a robot. Okay, you don't want to have this copy and paste like, hey girl, oh my gosh, I saw your profile, it's super cute, I have this business offer for you, like, do you want to jump on a call? No, I don't. Like, you took no time to really get to know me. I get DMs like that. I actually got a DM yesterday from this girl, and she DM'd me and she was like, hey, I saw your profile, it looks super amazing, and I was just wondering if you wanted to make an extra income from your social media. And I literally messaged her back and I said, if you would have actually looked at my profile, you would have seen that I have 2 businesses that I run from my social media to bring in an extra income. People know when you're not being genuine. You guys want to make real connections here, okay? So don't sound like a robot. You're a human and they're a human, okay? So the first script, get your notebook out or get your notes up. Hey, I noticed that you either liked a photo, liked a reel, or recently followed me. So I did a little stalk on your page and I figured I'd introduce myself like a normal human being. I'm Tatiana. And then you can put in the little blurb about what you do. So I could say, I'm Tatiana. If this is maybe a curly girl or someone that I'm talking to, I help curly girls revive their curls. If you don't mind me asking, I'm curious how you found my profile. So now this shows that you looked into their profile, tells a little bit about yourself and you're introducing yourself, and you're asking how they came to your profile. I'll read it one more time. Hey, I noticed you liked a photo, reel, or recently followed me. So those are just like a couple of options that you can use. So I did a little stalk on your page. And I figured I'd introduce myself like a normal human. My name is Tatiana. After that, you can give a little blurb about what you do, or you can just say, I'm Tatiana, or I'm Zoe, or I'm Gabby. Just say your name. If you don't mind me asking, I'm curious how you found my profile. So again, you introduce yourself. It's not weird because they literally just liked one of your reels or your photos, or they recently followed you. So you're trying to get to know the people who are coming to your page. There's nothing wrong with that. And you're asking how they found your profile. So what that's doing for you is it's helping you figure out what channels are working for you. Did they find your page because of a reel? Did they have one of their friends tell them to follow you because you put out good content? Is it because, like, whatever it is, wherever they came across you, so now you'll know, like, oh, okay, so this was a reel that did really good, let me make some more content like that. Or it was word of mouth because of this kind of content that I make. That will help you audit your own account and your own content that you're making. So that's one way you can do it, but really what it comes down to is you want to find a relevant connection to start it off with. So that relevant connection is them liking a photo, following you, whatever it is. Or you could be like, hey, I saw that you shared this video by Daniel G. I love him so much too. Like, how did you come across his page? And then you always want to end on a question. Because if you send them something that they don't have to answer, then they might not answer. But if ended on a question, so a relevant connection to start it off and then ended on a question. And that's how you can start the conversation. So start engaging from there with whatever their response is. Yes, and now you're in their DMs. Now you guys are having a conversation. You guys are connecting on something. Script number 2 is going to be the transition. So you've gotten that down. Now you want to transition into making it known what you do. So whether if you're trying to make a connection about the business or about our products. So this is where you want to nudge them to ask about your area of expertise or what it is that you do. So you can ask something like, hey, I'm curious about your interest in, let's say you looked at their page and all of it's traveling. Hey, I'm curious about your interest in travel. Or, hey, I'm curious about your interest in, maybe it's a lot of working out or health, things like that. Like I'm curious about what your goal is with your health or fitness. And then when they tell you, now that's opening the door, because with travel, you know that with this opportunity, it provides time freedom to allow people to travel, just like my sister and I are doing right now. With health and wellness, for products, it opens up our wellness line for you to start to have that conversation around it. So now you can start to gear the conversation around how you can help them out. How would you say for wellness though? Yeah, so if they have like a lot, like, what's your fitness goal? And then you start talking about their fitness goals. And then you're like, oh, okay. So, what kind of protein powder are you currently using? Or are you using any kind of supplements, anything like that, that can start to gear the conversation around, the products that we have. Um, Me?
Like, I'm curious.
Oh, hey, I'm curious about how you got into your fitness journey.
Or wait, did you say something about a goal? Like, I'm curious what your goal is with it.
Yeah, or what's your goal with that? What's your goal with your fitness journey? Or if they're posting things about, motivation, positivity. A lot of people will post things about being an entrepreneur, different things, and it's like, and they're not really acting on it. And you can say, that's what I teach to my team, or that's what I teach to my mentees. Another thing that you can say is, tell me more about this. I see that you're really into fitness. Tell me a little more about your journey. I see that you're into traveling. Tell me a little bit more about that. I see this is where you're currently working. Tell me a little bit more about that.
People love to talk about themselves.
So you want to relate with them, discover if there's any type of pain point related around that, talk about your process and your success, and then ask another question so that you can keep the conversation going. The next transition is inviting them to a call. When is it appropriate to invite someone to your call? Did you send them a potential video? Did they show some sort of interest in what you have provided them? Some sort of interest in, oh yeah, I'm able to travel, or I used to work a 9 to 5 and now I'm able to travel because I work from my phone. Did they show some kind of interest in that? If I feel that they showed some kind of interest in what I'm doing or something around the wellness products, the next script around that can be, hey, so-and-so, let's jump on a call. I'd love to learn more about you, especially with your history in health, fitness, traveling, and see if I can help out. Are you available at 9 to 12 p.m.? I'm Eastern time. Hey, so-and-so, let's jump on a call. I'd love to learn more about you, especially with your history, working out, in health and wellness realm, something like that. Make it work. You'll be able to tailor it to whatever your guys' conversations are about and see if I can help out. Are you available 9 to 12? Give whatever time range and then let them know what time zone you're in. That's what I was looking for. Or if you're in the DMs and you're having a conversation and they already have a vision for themselves, and they're like, yeah, this is what I do. My plan is to be able to, travel full time or move to Florida, and I want to open up a coconut cart where I sell coconut water to people on the beach. Like, if they've already got a plan or a vision for a business idea or something that they're wanting to do, a response that you can say is, do you want help with that? Or do you want support with that? Because this is an extra way to bring in an income for them to support something else that they're currently doing. Do you want help with that, or do you want support with that? The main focus here is really focusing on communicating your sincere desire to add value, whether or not they want to buy the products or join the business. And this is where the pressure really comes off of you. is when you're being sincere and genuine of just wanting to help out, just wanting to listen and learn to see if you can help. And it's not all about, oh my gosh, I want to talk to this person because I want them to join my business or become my VIP. That's when it becomes stressful. That's when it becomes rushed. That's when it feels like I don't really know what to say next. That's when it becomes more complicated because you're thinking too much about it and not really actually communicating that you're sincere in wanting to add value to them. Sincere and seeing, is this something that I could possibly help you with? Let them know, like, I'm cheering you on either way. I'm not in it for the money. I'm cheering you on. I'm here as support. I want to learn more about you and what you've got going on. So we've had the introduction, the transition into making the conversation more relevant, either about the business or products. And then this is where the objection may come in. Now remember, they're taking a leap of faith by talking to you because this is their time. It may be scary for them. You're a new person. They don't know you. So be grateful that you've even gotten this far to hear an objection from them. Be grateful that they even got on the phone with you. Now, an objection that you may hear is, I don't want to waste your time. So take the pressure off of them and affirm that you're doing this to support them and learn more about them, not to force them into anything. If you're transitioning into getting them in on a one-on-one potential call, communicate that the call comes with zero expectations. There's no strings attached. If it's a good fit, then I'll go over more details for you about the products and what it means to be a VIP. If it's a good fit, then I'll go over the details of starting your own business, launching your own business, what it looks like to be my market partner. And then circle back to getting back on the call. So I'll go slow with this one for the objection. So let's say the objection is, I don't want to waste your time. I already know that this isn't really for me. I don't really know if, this is something right. You would never be a waste of time. This call is not just to sell you on products or this business. It's to learn about you and see if it's a right fit and give you clarity about the steps if it is. So you would never be a waste of time. This call is not just to sell you on products or business. It's to learn about you and see if it's a right fit and give you clarity about the next steps. And then you can also say, because I only accept business partners or take on business partners or clients, I know I can help. So let's do this. When would you like to chat? Now you've taken the pressure off of them. Now it's like, okay, she's not just like trying to sign me up. She really wants to know, can she help me? What ways? Just wanting to have a conversation. Now let's say we have an opportunity call. Let's say they're like, okay, yeah, I guess like I can get in on a one-on-one with you on this time. Or yeah, I'll jump on your potential call later on tonight and you send the link. They don't show up to the one-on-one call or you don't see them on the opportunity call. This, Because I only accept clients I know I can help. So let's do this. When would you like to chat? Or you can send, the opportunity call or another time frame for one-on-ones. Okay, so for number 5, script 5, this is the follow-up. And this is what a lot of people don't do. This is the step that people sleep on. Because now we've gotten in our heads and we're like, oh, I don't want to be annoying. They left me on red. What do I say now? They didn't respond to it. This is the needle mover. If you guys do these steps 1 through 5 in your DMs with the conversations for 30 days consistently, see what happens. Like I said, when I finished this podcast, I literally implemented it, the introduction piece, right away, and I was on a potential call in less than 24 hours. Because a person rich in relationships is a person that never needs to worry about going broke again. So these follow-ups are very, very important. Stop sleeping on it. Stop sleeping on it because it feels awkward or you feel weird or you feel like you're bothering someone. Rachel said, at the end of my life, I'm not going to be happy that I didn't help someone because I felt awkward following up with them. And that's so true. Some people just forget to respond. Life happens. We all know that. Some people may have read the message and then got distracted and then forgot, or something came up. So if you send the call link or you set up a one-on-one and they don't show up, your follow-up can sound like this. Hey, so-and-so, wondering if you still want to discuss your business or products, whatever the conversation was about. I have a couple open spots for calls this week. Happy to help you and to learn more about what it is that you said last week. Do any of these times work for you? So, hey, so-and-so, wondering if you still wanted to discuss business or products, whatever the conversation is about. I have a couple open spots for calls this week. Happy to help you learn and to learn more about what you said last week. Do any of these times work for you? Now, if you're in the middle of a conversation, you haven't even got that far as to the call, and someone stops responding. Hey, so-and-so, wondering if you still wanted to discuss your business or the business or products. I have a couple open spots for calls this week. Happy to help you learn and learn more about what you said last week. Do any of these times work for you? Because obviously you guys have had some sort of conversation around maybe they aren't liking their job or they want to move on from their job. They're looking for something different. They want to travel, whatever it is that you guys talked about. Like, you want to learn more about that and see if there's a way that you can help them. So if they ghost you mid-conversation, they stop responding, you guys don't assume the worst. Assume the best. Again, maybe they got distracted. Maybe something came up. That doesn't mean that you're annoying. That doesn't mean that they don't want you to message them ever again. So don't assume that. Just assume, oh, something maybe came up, so let me revive this conversation. One thing that you can do, and this is usually what I do to revive the conversation, is I send a relevant resource to what we had already been talking about. So if you're really engaging with this person and they're opening up to you about something, like send them a podcast that was relevant about what you guys were talking about, or an article that you were reading. Something that Rachel said in the podcast that I thought was super value was, or make content around the conversation that you guys were having. Because not only does that give you content to use, they get an idea of what it's like to have you as a mentor. Another one that she uses for follow-up is short and sweet. Following up with a smiley face. Putting it out there exactly for what it is. Hey, just wanted to follow up with you. Don't overcomplicate it or overthink it. 3 follow-ups over 10 to 12 day period. If nothing, then give it a rest. And at some point, they may see some content that you posted or something that sparks their memory around what you said or what you guys talked about, and they'll be back in your DMs like, hey, sorry, this got away from me. I was thinking about products the other day, or I did my hair and it didn't turn out. I need them, whatever it may be. Hmm?
Can I comment on that quick?
Yeah.
You guys is pointless, huh?
I thought you turned your mic on. Go ahead.
Sometimes I think my content is pointless, or my highlights, how many I have and like how long some of them are. And usually in those moments is when I have somebody DM me and they'll like either respond to one of my highlights, or they'll talk about content that I posted in the past and like how it helped them with something or made them decide something, or they're asking questions about that content or that highlight. And it's like, that's why, like, if there's any value in it at all, then it's good. Keep it, post it, put it out there. Somebody is connecting with it. That's all.
Yes, Brittany said you are not the only creep out there. For real. Exactly. And you guys, when you're following up with people, that's also showing them the type of mentor that you are. That shows that you're going to be working closely with them, that you're going to follow up with them once they do join your team, that you're not just going to forget about them and ghost them and leave them alone if they don't respond one time. I have so many people who are like, thank you for staying on me and consistent with me so much. I have a couple more questions just as far as if you guys are struggling, like what kind of questions to ask, like how to keep the conversation going. And then I'm going to turn it over to Brittany for once you actually get on the phone. Okay. So let's say that you're talking to someone and they're obviously looking for a new career path. Or they're like, oh, I don't know, like I have a job, but they don't seem enthusiastic about it. It's not like, so some of the things, the 8 areas around career are fulfillment, engagement, energy, authenticity, ambition, communication, dedication and commitment, and then leadership and influence. So questions around fulfillment, like, does their work fulfill them? Does it utilize their different talents? Is their work really draining or dull? And if they weren't getting a paycheck, would they still spend time there? Engagement. Are they actively engaged in their work, in their coworkers, in their environment? Are they there physically and thinking about other things that they would rather be doing? That was it for me at my job. Energy. Do they have enough energy to meet the demands of the day? Are they usually, or do they usually use stimulants like coffee and things like that to get through the day because they really have no interest in being where they're at? Authenticity. Do they feel a sense of alignment with who they are and how they show up at work? Is work congruent with their values and what they stand for? This one was for me too. Do they feel like they're one person Monday through Friday and their true self comes out on Saturday and Sunday? Ambition. Are they striving for more? What do they want for themselves? Do they have aspirations for their life? Maybe they don't know how to dream. They lost that dreaming big. And you can help them with that by painting a vision for them. Communication. How is their communication with their employers, with their boss, with their manager? Are they able to clearly and fully express their thoughts and ideas and challenges where they're currently at? Dedication and communication, or commitment. What is their dedication to their personal commitments? Do they have a personal mission? Are they actively engaged in making choices that are going to help their career and the company's success? And then leader and influence. How are they showing up each day as a leader? Are they able to be motivated and instill motivation in others? Are they positive contributions to the team? Are they dragging others down? What is it like for them when they think of themselves as a leader? So those are just some questions that you guys can be thinking about when you're having conversations with people who are looking for a new career path, questions that you can ask them to get them thinking about, like, wait, damn, is this really what I want to be doing? Because a lot of people are stuck in autopilot and they're like, this pays the bills, I'm good, it's whatever. I'm waiting for Saturday or Friday so I can get off work and go and mindlessly do whatever I need to do on Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. So those are thought-provoking questions where they can really be like, oh my gosh, okay, wait, is this for me? Let me see if there's any questions. What was before energy on the list? Engagement. So are they actively engaged with their work, their coworkers, their environment? And are they physically there, or are they thinking about something else, like where they would rather be? All right, I am going to turn it over to Brittany to go over a helpful script for once you guys have people on the phone for a potential call.
Okay, I have a question before you switch it over.
Okay, yeah.
Would you say in a potential call that you would like ask those questions like to them to like pick their brain?
Yeah, so that, it all depends, you know. Are you doing more, it depends if you're there like someone who's, you're having a hard time get on the phone, so they're more comfortable through text or in the DMs. But if there's someone who's like right away, they're ready to get on the phone, those are questions that you can ask on the phone as well.
Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna need a picture of the notes because I cannot write fast enough.
Yeah, I got you.
This is also recorded and going on the Facebook page immediately.
That part.
Okay, so you've gotten past all of those steps and now you're getting on a potential call, which we know is one of the most pivotal parts of your interaction with this person, because it's either going to give them a breakthrough or it's not. So this script, you're always going to want to make it your own verbiage. So definitely don't forget to put your personality into it. Otherwise, you're going to, again, sound like a robot. You are going to start off with a greet. Use their name. So it'll be, example, it'll be, you will say, hi, so-and-so. So great to be with you today. How is or was, and you're going to pick something that you guys have talked about prior, or something that you enjoyed last about your encounter. So if you were talking about Wellness. Hey, how's your workouts been going this week? Or how was your workout today? Or, what kind of smoothie did you make today after your workout? They're going to respond, and then you will respond accordingly. Don't cut off the conversation just out of nowhere because you want to get the ball moving. Make sure it's a genuine back and forth before you take the next step. So you will follow that with, I'm so excited for our call today. So you're going to share that excitement with them because, of course, we're excited to have them on the call. I feel I'll definitely be able to help you with blank. And this will be whatever challenge that you were able to pick out when you were talking to them. So they're struggling with time freedom. I feel like I could really help you with your time freedom so that you can spend more time at the gym, or so that you don't have to rush through your workouts. Before you'll continue the conversation by saying, before we dive into our time together, I am curious, have you heard of or done network marketing or MLM before? So you let them respond. If they say yes, you can say, great, awesome, fantastic. If you're open, I would love to hear your experience with that briefly. If anything, and what, if anything, different you would be looking for if we were to start working together? Because you will have people like me who are on their 5th network marketing. I used to say 4. Someone reminded me of a 5th one that I was with. And I was like, oh, dang, I forgot about that one. So you will check in with them and make sure that you are figuring out what, how am I not an SED right now? I slept for a little bit, that's not the point. So you will dive into you will ask them about the network marketing. Ask them what they're looking for if you continue to work together. And if they say no, they've never heard of network marketing or MLM, you will say, awesome. So what do you think about network marketing? What would you say your current expectation or idea of it is for you? So ask them what their expectation is, hey coconut, of network marketing or MLM, what they've heard of it, what their expectation is, what they're looking to get out of it. You have to stay down, please. Thank you. They will respond, and then you're going to reassure them of what you're going to bring to the table as their mentor. So you will say something like, as your mentor, I will support you, cheer you on, stretch you out of your comfort zone, and challenge you to get curious and question how you are currently approaching different areas of your life. So you can also say, I'm here to help you unlock your potential so that you are empowered to create absolutely anything you desire to create in this life. So you're going to keep reassuring them, right? You're going to keep letting them know that they can do whatever they want in this life. Because sometimes we need that. Sometimes we forget. Sometimes we get so caught up in go, go, go with life that we forget our true potential, and we need somebody to tap into that real quick and remind us. So you're going to reassure them that you can give that to them, whether directly or in the community that we have. You can also say, I'm here to inspire you to step into full alignment in every area of your life with who you want to be. Tackling all of the above is a lot on our own and often overwhelming to the point that it is easier to stay where we are. So I'm here to help you stay on track. That's huge. It's so easy to stay where we are, right? I had a headache today and I was like, I really just want to lay in bed all day, but I didn't. I got my ass up and I went and did the work that I had to do, and now I'm here. So then you will follow that by saying, before I ask anyone to open up and begin sharing their deepest desires with me, I'd love to let you know a little bit about me. Would that be all right with you? And then you're going to tell them your story. So you make it a little brief. You tell them your story real quick, not too much to overwhelm them, but you let them know like the major points of your story so that they know a little bit about you, which creates more of a connection, which creates more comfort, so that when they start sharing their deepest, darkest desires with you, that it's easier for them to share. Because if we don't have that connection, why am I telling you my deepest, darkest secrets? Because you're not a therapist at the end of the day. I only tell my deepest, darkest secrets to my therapist right off the bat without any, rapport. So you'll build that rapport with them. And you just share the like, some of this is taught script. So
Yeah, do you want me to go into it?
yeah, do it, because
Okay.
you'll get much more
Okay.
passionate.
And I have this all typed out, so I'll share this with you guys. You guys can like copy it, paste it into your own document, create it yourself, use your own words and verbiage. But this is something that I use within coaching, and this is pretty much how I go about it. I mean, you guys have heard my call before, but it's just today my life is barely recognizable to me. I've completely changed my day to day. I feel more aligned with who I am by trajecting my life's plan. I started changing my habits, writing, journaling, reading, listening to podcasts, because my life once looked completely different. I was drinking every weekend. I was surrounding myself with unmotivated people. I was staying in my comfort zone. There was no change to my life. I was always complaining. I was doing no type of personal development. I was toxic in my relationships, and I was not showing up for myself, just for other people. And this is why I'm so passionate about helping others, because I've always known that I want to help people. That's why I went to school for social work. That's why I worked in domestic violence. Everyone deserves to feel aligned with their purpose. And this is why I love this business. This is why I love helping other girls with their curly hair, because that's something that I struggled with. I am here to help people change their lives. And I was able to, with this business, I was able to quit my job so that I can travel and make an impact. And that's exactly what I want to do. Quick and easy. Where I was, where I am, where I'm going, and what I'm doing now.
Also, you guys, to add to that, write this down. Like, write your story down. Because there's times when you're talking, like, the potential call that I shared my story on, I almost forgot a huge part of my story, which was the fact that I've been with multiple other network marketing companies, because I don't revisit that story enough to be like, oh yeah, that's a significant point in my story. So write this down, write down specific words you want to use, be intentional with your story. And then as you continue to go over those stories of yourself as they evolve, like, this wasn't how Tot told her story when she first started. She's massaged that story because she keeps repeating it, and then she writes it down, and then she remembers pivotal parts of her story. So write your story down 100%. Write down scripts or whatever you want down, however you want to say stuff. So then your potential then you will invite your potential to share with you. Hold on, let me turn these notifications off real quick. I got Telegram on my computer. So then you're going to invite your potential to respond. So this is where you want to actively listen and draw out their desired outcome. Don't be afraid of silence. Let them keep talking, because could still be intimidated by the fact that they're sharing all of these, you know, vulnerable moments or vulnerable aspects of their life with you. So they might need a process. They may need to breathe through it. So don't be afraid of silence. So what do they want most? Wheel of life or career? What are their top 3 things? So wheel of life is basically, have you shared the wheel of life before?
No, I haven't. I have it on my computer. I can go over it. So basically the wheel of life is just covering the main areas of people's lives. And something that I've really noticed within coaching when I do my OTRs or my potential calls with coaching clients, is it's usually the 3 main things that people are looking for. So it's your finances, creativity, spirituality, joy, social life, relationships, home environment, health, physical activity, home cooking, education, and career. So those are like the major areas of our lives. So this is where I'm really where you really want to hone in and figure out, where does your life need nourishment the most if we broke it down to those areas. And what I've found when I'm on the phone with doing my potential calls like this, is people are looking for nourishment with their finances, their social life, and their career. And the first thing I think of when I'm doing them for life coaching, I'm like, I can literally give you all of those things within Monet. Because that's literally what it is. Our community, it's a career, and it's going to help you with your finances. So that was really when I realized, wow, like coaching and Monet go hand in hand, because that's exactly what people are looking for. Now I understand that network marketing and Monet is not for everyone. Some people are really just like, I just want a one-on-one coach. I want nourishment in these areas. That's not for me, but it's going to be in something else. But that's when it really clicked for me. And I was like, I'm upgrading my account, because that's what people are looking for. And I know that this is a golden opportunity that can help people in all of those areas. So those are the main areas for life. When it comes to career, those are all of the 8 career pieces that I already went over, where it was, you know, their energy, authenticity, ambition, all of that. Those are like the kind of areas to touch on as far as career.
Todd, will you repeat the life one again real quick for Ella?
Yeah. So when you're trying to assess like where people need nourishment in their life, like why are they looking for something different? The areas are creativity, spirituality, joy, social life, relationships, home environment, health, physical activity, home cooking, education, career, and finances. And I have this document too that I can send to you guys as well.
All right, so now we're going to get into the meat of the conversation, where you're going to learn a lot about them when they are in between explaining to you why they're here, essentially. So there's some questions you can ask. So once they've responded with their initial sneak peek into them, you can follow that with a question. What's the outcome you want for blank? So whatever they told you when they first introduced themselves, what outcome are they looking for that? Are they looking for career fulfillment? Are they looking for more money? Are they looking for time freedom? Do they love to travel? What about that? What outcome do they want for each of those things specifically? Or you can ask, which this is one of my favorite questions to ask, if you could wave a magic wand and get everything you want and be right where you want to be, what would that look like? Like if you could snap your fingers and it all be here right in front of you, you have the life that you want, what would that look like? And then they will respond. And then you will dive deeper with each question you ask with their responses. So they'll respond and you will say, what feels most important about that being the first area to address? Why is that their most important part that they want to change about their life? Why is their finances their most important? Because then if they start getting into their finances and why, I've just struggled with money my whole life, boom, you know that they have a money mindset issue. That's going to be a huge coaching point. Awesome. I coach money mindset to my team all the time. Our team talks about money mindset all the time and how we can start manifesting whatever financial flow we want. So they'll respond. And then you can ask, would you be willing to play with me for a second? And they'll respond usually yes, because everyone has an inner child that likes to play. So you can respond with, how about for a moment, you close your eyes, have your feet on the floor. You guys can do this too if you'd like. Have your feet on the floor, take a breath in, and imagine the future version of you who is already experiencing the outcome that they want. But you will actually say the outcome that they want specifically. You'll repeat it back to them. It's 3 months from now. You've achieved everything you set out to achieve. What does that feel like? And then they're going to respond to you. And then you're going to respond. Imagine you're going to respond accordingly. But then you can say, imagine turning the dial up on whatever, I guess, pain point we can use for lack of a better term at the moment. Just a little more so you can feel it even more strongly running throughout your entire nervous system. So when you feel like $1 million earner, turn that up. What does feeling like $1 million earner feel like? What does being an SED feel like? What does selling all your stuff and traveling for an indefinite amount of time, what does that feel like? What does living in Morocco for 2 months feel like? All of that. What is graduating college as $1 million earner already, Zael? It feels good. Now you turn that up so you get those feelings stirring inside of them, because you're going to start tapping into, those emotions which are going to drive them. And then, side note, and then when you start coaching them on their why, when they do sign up with you, you can tap back into this conversation and be like, okay, these were things that you talked about, so let's get going with your why. How would it make a difference in your life and other important people in your life if you got this income? I mean, this outcome, not this income, this outcome. If you're an SED, how is that going to change other people's lives around you? If you're $1 million earner, how is that going to change people's lives around you? And then they will respond. And then you will say, well, what will having that do for you? What will having the finances to take care of your mom or your parents, buying your parents a house, what will that do for you? What will having that experience do for you? How will you feel with that? And then they'll respond. And then you will respond, what is most important about that for you? These questions seem repetitive, but you're going deeper with every question you ask. And that's where you're going to really dig up the emotion that's going to drive them to say yes with you, because you're like, damn, I had one of these with one of my best friends just for shits and giggles, and she was crying by the end of it. She's like, people don't ask me these questions. I don't ever have to think about this. But these are things that you're diving deeper, and you start, touching those aspects of life. So then they'll respond, and then you're going to thank them because they just got real vulnerable with you real fast. So you're going to thank them for that. Then you'll ask, what would unfold for you in your relationships, in your work, in your social life, in your finances? What will unfold for you then at that point? So now they're going to start expanding their vision, because you're asking them, well, what's going to happen then? Once I reach these goals, then what? They'll respond, and then you'll respond accordingly. Hi. Imagine if you did have blank, what else in your life would open up for you? Or what will you be able to do in your life that you feel like you couldn't do before? So they're having financial struggle. What will having a residual stream of income do for them? They can travel now. They can travel whenever they want. They can buy, provide for their kids the exact way that they want. They can buy their parents a house. They can buy whatever car they want. They can afford therapy, because that's not cheap. And that's something that I have struggled with personally since I started going to therapy, is trying to find affordable therapy, because mental health is slept on. So you ask them, what will having that do, and how things will open up for them. And then they'll respond, and you ask them, what's the best part of that? What's the best part of being able to provide for your kids? And these questions, like I said, sound repetitive, but they keep going. You can keep going with this. It just keeps unfolding. So they'll respond, and then you'll respond accordingly. So now you're going to draw out the problem, if you haven't already, and what it's costing your potential. So you'll say, what's stopping you or slowing you down from having that? And I asked this already to people. What's slowing you down from opening your own salon? What's slowing you down from getting a better car? What's slowing you down from working from home, or any of that? I lost my spot. Here we go. So they'll respond. And then you'll say, can you tell me a little bit more about that? So now you're opening it up to dialogue. So now they're just going to talk. And that could go on for a minute. And then you will, again, thank them, because they probably got a little vulnerable. And then you're going to ask them what their biggest challenge with that is. What is their biggest challenge with that? And then they'll respond, and then you'll respond accordingly. And then you can ask, how has that impacted your daily life? How has this challenge that you're facing impacted your everyday life? Because believe it or not, some of these things impact your everyday life. What kinds of opportunities might you miss out on, if anything, if this doesn't change? Or what kinds of problems might arise if this doesn't change? So if nothing happens, what's going to happen? What changes if nothing changes? Where are you going to end up? And then they're going to respond. And then you will say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it for you to solve this now? Or how important is this for you to solve now? And then they'll respond. Usually it's an 8, 9, or 10. And then you'll say, I'm curious, based on what you've learned so far, what if anything new have you learned about yourself, and what's been stopping you from having what you want? Because during this interaction, you're not the only person learning about them. They're also learning about them. They're like, oh shit, I didn't think of that. Wow, I never thought about it that deep. I never put it into words how deep that was for me. She is really thirsty to be in this camera right now. So they will respond, and then you can offer your program as a resource. So they respond, and then you respond according to that, and then you can say, great, let me recap a bit of what we've gone over to make sure I fully understand you. You're going to repeat everything back to them, sum it up, but you're going to repeat it back to them. This is what I'm getting. This is what I understand. This is your, this is where your goals are. This is what's holding you back. This is the true, deeper meaning of everything that you want. So you'll say, what I hear you saying is that you'd like to move away from XYZ, and you'll use their words. So for example, working all the time, putting someone else first, and feeling disconnected from yourself and others, and move towards XYZ, again, their words. So an example of that, making more time for your family and feeling confident about who you are plus time freedom. So all of that together could sound like, what I hear you saying is that you'd like to move away from working all the time, putting someone else first or everyone else first, and feeling disconnected from yourself and others, and move closer to making more time for your family a priority, feeling confident about who you are plus time freedom. Does that sound about right? And you always want to ask them if that sounds right, because you might have interpreted something wrong, or they might need to clarify something, or they might want to add something to it. So they'll respond, and then you'll say, awesome. I would be honored to help you reach your goals and would love to share the vision I see for you if we were to walk this path together. Are you open to hearing this? So you're inviting them to say yes or no already. So like Daniel G talks about, you're giving them an out. So all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, sure, she gave me an out. I'm not stuck here. I feel more secure. So based on what you hear from your potential, paint the vision you have for them. So paint this beautiful picture, a genuine, beautiful picture, because that's what you do the entire time you mentor them through this business, is you hold that vision for them. Because they share that vision with you, but sometimes you forget about that vision when you're going through these processes, when you keep hearing no's, when you can't get an MP, when you can't seem to get VIPs, or when your VIPs quit, or when your MPs quit. Your mentor is going to hold your vision for you the whole time until you start carrying it and showing it off yourself. Repeat the vision options part. Based on what you hear from your potential, paint the vision you have from them. Is that the part you wanted repeated? So you say you're honored to help reach their goals, giving them an out. Oh, okay. So you say, I would love to help you reach your goals and would love to share the vision I see for you if we were to work together or walk this path together. Are you open to hearing this? So asking them if they're open to hearing what you envision for them. That's the part where you give them that out. So then you let them know what's essential for success. What's essential for success is the right system, the right accountability, and the right support. And that's literally everything we have in this team and with the company. The right system with the company, the right accountability with your mentor, and the right support with your team. So you have all of this, and as you say it, you have all of this with this team, and I will continue to hold that vision for you and with you when we work together. Sound good? And then they'll say yes, because who wouldn't think that sounds good? Perfect. To secure your spot on my team, there's a few investment options that you can choose between. You'll go over the packages and close the deal. And then if there's any objections, you adjust accordingly to that. So you're really taking this interaction of okay, this is what I have for you. I want to hear what you have to say, and then I'm going to share with you what my vision is, or what my opportunity is, and then we're going to move from there. This is going to tap, we talk about connection all the time in this business and with the company. This is connection times 10. This is not connection that a lot of other people are doing in this business, or even in network marketing at all, in the whole industry. So that is all I have. Todd, do you have anything else to say?
You guys, I pray that you took notes. There is a recording of this. Actually, I can stop it now.